what happens slowly with time and with success and with experience, initially you don't have so many opportunities. So you can do only from what you can get. And then as the opportunities get more layered and more, deeper as characters, you also as an actor can explore sides of yourself that you haven't explored. There have been films where I have done a role which wasn't as challenging for me and was a Sleepwalk. And I also realized, I'm not going to say life, but there have been. I've done those films for different reasons. But I realized that it didn't excite me on set. When it didn't challenge me, I didn't feel like, I'm excited about today's scene or I'm excited to go on set. Then it was like, theek hai, ho raha hai, nice. Like I did Mimi, and after that, I was wanting to find something deeper and more, intense and in that space. And I didn't find it for the longest time, for years. Having said that, I loved some scripts that I did, whether it's Crew or Teri Baaton Mein, they gave me a different world and different characters and it was fun. But I was still craving for something deep.
Make your characters very strong with that sort of an arc when you're writing. Is that always the intention?
सोचो ये खुद कैसी होगी?
Exactly.
Each of the characters stands out or is remembered because there's a beautiful synergy between the actor who's playing it and what is written on paper.
Yeah.
And I encourage that. I want that. I've observed about him. I've not told Shaheer that, but I think he's really chilled.
I'm offended. I'm in a reason right now.
He's literally saying, no matter what. He's really chilled. I'll tell you, no matter what the chaos is around him.
I get bogged down so many times. It's not. I'm a Leo. And I can be a little bit of a control freak. And I want everything to happen well. So मैं घुस जाती हूँ हर चीज़ में.
Hi, welcome to Etimes, and I'm not going to introduce you all because I'm going to straight away jump into how much I loved the trailer of Do Patti.
Please do.
Because it had such elements of, thrill and such catchy dialogues, and just every frame was captivating in a lot of ways. But it makes me look forward to, watching it and more of it because the trailer wasn't enough. So please fill me in more about, what can people expect from the film. Kriti, you want to go first?
I mean, to be honest, I think the trailer is a good reflection of what we want you to see.
Right.
But it has a slide that says prepare for deception. So there's a lot more in the film. But at the core of it, I feel the twin rivalry is just new and refreshing. Hasn't been seen the way it's been done in this film. Yeah. It's got a lot of drama, it's got love, it's got hurt, it's got betrayal, it's got like twists and turns. It's got this ace cop who's in the middle of all of this, trying to figure it out. But it also has a very strong emotional core, a message or an issue that we wanted to highlight from a different light and a different lens. And we hope that reaches people's hearts.
Yeah. Since you are the writer and a producer on this as well, please tell me that did you get more creative freedom on this one now that you are also the producer on it, along with Kriti, who also wants to push the envelope, always, even as an actor. But how was the process on this one? When you're also the producer, was it different?
I've been co-producing my films for a while now. Be it Man Marzi, I was a creative producer. Haseen Zuban is a co-producer. So a lot of freedom was there in those projects as well. The difference with Do Patti is that I launched Katha Pictures, my production house with this. So the production is done by Katha Pictures, and Blue Butterfly was launched by Kriti. So Do Patti is, a joint venture. It's very exciting. Full-fledged debut as a producer. And what to expect from the film is very unpredictable. It's a roller coaster. It's sassy. And also it hits you in the gut eventually. And I hope, there's a very important message in the film. And I hope, people understand it, empathize with it, and think about it.
Yeah.
around this. I mean, how you are saying so much without revealing much about the film.
Look.
I've been trying to do this since morning, but I fail at it.
I'm like constantly, since morning we've been giving it.
No.
I'm giving him eyes, I'm nudging him. And then there was an interview where I said, nahi bol sakte.
I literally said that.
So that's the beauty of the writer in her coming to the forefront.
Of course.
Yeah. Shaheer, how is it collaborating with these two boss ladies and of course Kajol, who is the third one on this one? But in terms of your character and of course this sort of collaboration with such strong women power on board on this film, how has it been for you?
I feel very lucky that I got this project. I'm a part of this project because they're all so talented and, I mean, such big stars in their own fields. Even Kanika has been writing some beautiful,
Brilliant.
phenomenal stories and producing films as well. And Kriti, I mean, I got the opportunity, my first film, and I got the opportunity to share screen space with Kriti and Kajol ma'am. I couldn't have asked for more.
Kriti, I need to talk to you about, your on-screen aura, which has evolved ever since you made your debut. In terms of, there is a certain sense of confidence which you bring to the table despite the variety in the characters, be it Bareli Ki Barfi, be it Mimi, or be it Recent Times Crew or Teri Baaton Mein. Now the way you've evolved with time and become so polished as an actor, do you feel that change in terms of the way you're more confident now as an actor? Because it just comes across.
I think I've slowly understood my process without trying to limit it. I've understood what works and how I can make it better, and how, even I think the opportunities, what happens slowly with time and with success and with experience, initially you don't have so many opportunities, so you can do only from what you can get. And then as the opportunities get more layered and more, deeper as characters, you also as an actor can explore sides of yourself that you haven't explored. I've had this constant conscious effort of growing and evolving with every film that I'm doing. And once I have done something, there have been films where I have done a role which wasn't as challenging for me and was a sleepwalk. And I also realized, I'm not going to say life, but there have been. I've done those films for different reasons. But I realized that it didn't excite me on set. When it didn't challenge me, I didn't feel like, I'm excited about today's scene, or I'm excited to go on set. Then it was like, theek hai, ho raha hai, nice. And then wo satisfaction bhi kam thi end mein. So I think now, after a decade, I've reached a point where I can choose to do certain films because I love them and not just like them. I think slowly you find your own path and you find what you like, you find what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
But, being an outsider when you start out as a young girl with Hero Panti, a decade later when you see yourself having that sort of space for yourself, where now you're also, extending the horizon by producing a film. What is more gratifying, to be in that position with Do Patti, or to play? I think it's, like you said, it's one of your most challenging characters.
Yeah.
So with this film, what part is the most gratifying, to be at that certain position or just the role in itself?
I think all of it, yeah. To be honest, I almost in a way created this opportunity for myself, not just as a producer, but also an actor.
Yeah.
The actor in me was also very hungry and sort of craving to get an opportunity. And you don't, like I did Mimi, and after that, I was wanting to find something deeper and more, intense and in that space. And I didn't find it for the longest time, for years. Having said that, I loved some scripts that I did, whether it's Crew or Teri Baaton Mein, they gave me a different world and different characters, and it was fun. But I was still craving for something deep, and mil hi nahi raha tha, kuch samne tha hi nahi. Then I called Kanika, I'm like, listen, what are you doing? Do you have anything? And then I was like, I want to get into production, and I also want to support stories and make films. And then she was like, is there something that you feel for? What do you want to produce? And I told her about a subject. And then she had a twin story. And then next time when we met, she kind of married them beautifully. And it just became, I was like, I had goosebumps. And I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah. But Kanika, what is it about you that you always bring out these quirky characters on paper and on screen? And, what is your thought process? I mean, do you always aim to, make your characters very strong with that sort of an arc when you're writing? Is that always the intention?
सोचो ये खुद कैसी होगी
Exactly.
इतने shades जो इसकी characters में हैं.
I'll tell you, I don't put so much thought into intention of this, that. I think characters are very instinctive when I'm writing them.
Yeah.
And I'd also say that, for any writer or maker, an artist, especially when you're writing a word, writing a character, a part of you will always be reflected in that character. Generally, as a person, I get attracted to things that are quirky. I enjoy entertainment that kind of challenges your mind. I'm not a conformist. I do not like status quo. That's who I am as a person. So I think all this amalgamates into some interesting characters on screen. And certain conversations also, while I'm having this right part of my brain, is so boring, I would only switch off. So I'm just like, it's this constant.
If it's interesting, I was wanting to understand this.
So, I always say that, writing is, sometimes you imagine what is a writer's brain and writer's life like. You have these characters in your head who talk, who you kind of imagine, who then become a part of your life. And then did we create a world? So you have to be little. Imagine what that is there.
Using a very nice word right now, imaginative.
No, but is there ever a crossover between all these crazy characters in your head? Ever?
1 second, sorry. Her writing one script is great. I get amazed at when she's working on Do Patti as a writer. She's also working on 5 other scripts.
Oh, really?
But I'm like, but don't you get confused of कि वो वाला character के traits में इसमें ना डाल दूँ गलती से?
There are 2 ways to look at it, because many writers feel that they have to be immersed in that one world, which I also do, but I quickly also jump out of it because I need perspective. So when I don't have the luxury of time, the only way I can spin out of that whole depth and get a fresh perspective is get into something else. And then when I come out of it, this is new, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. Change it. Better it. Write it. Otherwise, there's a
you get married
to it. And then you like everything you write because you've lived that for like 1 year. And
there's no objective perspective, yeah.
I don't let myself get too attached because I jump. And it's actually more of a process to keep it like alive and edgy and keep editing it. And detachment. It's a process that I follow for detachment. Otherwise, if you're doing different worlds, then you can have that. Otherwise, then I have to have a luxury of time. कि 1 साल बैठ के script लिखी, फिर 1 साल wait करो.
But I think that's one of the reasons why you're saying now, I'm getting it, that you're not so married to your lines and your scenes and, stuff like that. Because that's what makes her very collaborative. Like, you go to her and if you say, कि यार, as a character, I'm not feeling like saying this,
saying it this way, or
saying this, and I say ki, what if she does this, or what if she says this, if she likes it, she catches on to it very fast. Like, she's very open that way. It's not कि नहीं ये line तो यही बोल रहा है, वो नहीं है.
हाँ, because आप film बना रहे हो, आप किताब नहीं लिख रहे हो. और कई बार मैंने notice किया है कि having done so many films that when you write it in your head and you say it, the dialogue sounds very nice. But when an artist is doing it, their own soul will come into it. Their own comfort level will come into it, and sometimes it'll make it better, and sometimes it will not look nice on them. So this is a very organic format. The director's interpreting it, the actors are interpreting it, and it has to evolve organically. They have to feel it. They have to feel it correct. So a lot of my dialogues also, when I'm doing readings with the actors, or sitting with them, a lot of how they feel, what they say also gets captured in. That's why each of the characters stands out or is remembered, because there's a beautiful synergy between the actor who's playing it and what is written on paper.
Yeah.
And I encourage that. I want that.
Yeah. Shahid, this is like your first feature film, but it's been a while, and this should have happened much before. Because look at the popularity that you have, and there's such a huge fan following. What do you have to say about that sort of transition, now, and
Why
your
didn't it
fan
happen before, or why is it happening now?
Yeah, why did it? I mean, it's a treat for your fans. I mean, the popularity is so high.
I guess I had to also take that step at some point. And maybe at some point I was not ready for it. And everything takes its own time and things work out. And that's when you get the opportunity, I guess.
Also I feel when you're at the top of your game in one space, you also get a little comfortable there.
Yeah, that's...
because you're the king of that.
Yeah.
Like they call him the Shah Rukh Khan of Indonesia, for example. No, it's a human nature.
Yeah.
When you're so popular, when you're so, doing so well in a certain space, then you also are hesitant,
Yeah.
Should I try something?
Should I?
But are you someone that does get comfortable?
I kind of did.
You did?
Yeah, I was very comfortable in my own space.
And
doing my
satisfied
thing.
also?
Yeah, it was. Because I was lucky enough to get some very interesting characters. Yeah.
There is a laid back streak in him though, which is like, okay, but then
For me,
can be.
life is more important. Living life is more important than anything else. That's what I feel.
I tell you what I've observed about him. I've not told Shaheer that, but I think he's really chilled.
I feel like I'm in a freezer right now.
He's literally no matter what he's really
Chilled.
chilled. I'll tell you, no matter what the chaos is around him, even if I think the roof of the room is falling down, Shaheer will not be perturbed. He'll be like chilled.
But Kriti, are you chilled? Because how do you strike that balance between sometimes taking it lightly, being ambitious, being very driven with your work, and yet not getting bogged down by the pressure of?
I get bogged down so many times. It's not.
Right?
It's not like that. No, I feel. I think I can be calm in a chaotic situation, but I'm not someone who'll shout or who'll get angry or who'll get very impulsive. But I'm a Leo, and I can be a little bit of a control freak, and I want everything to happen well. So मैं घुस जाती हूँ हर चीज में. जहाँ जरूरत भी नहीं है, I have to now consciously step aside and be like, is this that important? And sort of look at it objectively and then see. Otherwise, I give my energy to everything. Like, I give it to places where it's not that needed also. So, that is there a little bit. I feel that's something that bogs me down, which I need to control.
Well, there's also something very endearing about there's one incident that happened. And let me just spill that. Both of you are a part of that one. So my baby was, cranky that day. So they were shooting Mud Island. Okay. And I didn't reach the set. I mean, because, the director was there every day shooting and all that. So I get a call from one of my people there that, this scene, they're feeling that, maybe we can drop it or we can whatever. But to me, sitting at, I was very clear that I want that scene short. And they had valid reasons because the way it was coming out to them, when they were reading it and all, it was not landing for them. So I have told my mother-in-law, please take care of me, but towards I'm coming back, I've taken the jetty because it had to be shot. That scene, proposal scene that is there in the film. So it had to be shot before sundown. Okay, so utna hi ghanta. And सब भाग रहे हैं, jetty में भाग रहे हैं, 2 घंटे बच्चे हैं. And I come here and they had decided, because of the way it was, and including the director, that I think just let it go, it's not landing, it's not worth it. So भाई साहब वहाँ जो जद्दोजहद शुरू हुई है. First I marched into his van. I'm like, Shaheer, then I've spoken to Kriti. So they're all like actors who get involved and this and that. तो हमने एक मतलब वही थोड़ी ऐसे तू मैं हो गई. And then I felt so bad because I'm also very headstrong and sometimes I can be like very blunt or be like very, how should I put it? Say a nice word. Now we can
Forward.
I'm not saying anything else. Blunt, I connect is extremely straightforward and like, bhai, and I think it was because I was so anxious because
And
sun
worked
going
up.
down and
Yeah.
बहुत pressure था, so I didn't realize what my tone was maybe or how I was like too strong about it. Eventually, we did get to shoot that scene, and it turned out beautifully. One of my favorite scenes. But I realized I felt so bad because she very sweetly said, "Okay, we'll do it." Although we did make changes to it, but I just felt that there was this face that so hurt a little bit, and I had to go and then tell her, and I just went to hug her, and I was like, Kriti. And then I went and hugged her because she went, because I felt so bad because she felt bad, but she didn't say anything, and she just went in a corner. She said, "Okay, I'm doing it this way," and all of that. But there's that vulnerability in her also, which is very endearing.
Actually, my point is कि अगर कभी disagreement हो ना स्क्रिप्ट पे या कहीं पे, या तो तुम मुझे कन्विंस कर लो या मैं तुम्हें कन्विंस कर देती हूँ. It can't be कि हम दोनों कन्विंस ही नहीं हो, हम बोल रहे यही होना है बस. There has to be logic there.
तब मैं ऐसे नहीं करती हूँ. उस दिन क्योंकि sundown होने वाला था.
उस दिन कि I'll give you the sundown.
I'll give you the sundown.
Because she was like, but it's working for me. Then I was like, okay, then tell me what to say. I'll say it.
Yeah. But when not like this, she was said it in such a sweet manner. I only felt bad, and then I was feeling so guilty. Yeah. So she also has that vulnerability. I don't know if she knows it or not, but it is very endearing.
Yeah.
She does, no?
Sorry.
I don't get angry. I can't get angry, but you will know what I'm feeling from my face. That's it.
You're transparent that way.
Usually.
And
not in life. I'm not a good actor in life.
And she's way better in terms of being calmer in situations than like me. I am glad that I had her as a producing partner because I tend to kind of sometimes not have filter.
It's hard jaldi hai.
So I just like, kaise hoga ye? So she was the calmer one.
Yeah.
Which is a very good balance.
Yeah. And as we wrap up, so I have just like last two questions just coming on my mind. So Kriti, firstly, I want to know that, in your experience of a decade, you've worked with so many producers and so many production houses. Are there any challenges that you face which you've particularly imbibed as a producer and taken care of?
Challenges
That you feel that as an actor also you understood. So as a producer,
I just I just feel like, for example, I feel like I've learned a lot seeing Dino, Dinesh Vijan in Maddock. I've done my maximum films there.
Yes.
What I love is that he backs his film. Whether वो जैसी भी बनी है, उसको जो भी feel होता है, उसको अंदर से जो भी लग रहा है, whether it is music, whether it is, just like cutting the trailer, whether it is giving the best platform for that film to come out.
Yeah.
And I've seen him go all out for each and every project and treat them all equally. So I think that is something that I really took from, just watching him. And again, he's a Leo, he's born a day before me. So it's like we have similar traits that way.
Yeah.
So for me also, it's like every film is like your baby and it's you can't just be like, yeah, acha ye nahi ho raha hai, chalo chodo. You have to give it your all. So whether it is this film, even in Do Patti, there have been many challenges. There have been many places where we were like, no, we can get better, we can do better. Even in terms of like music, to not like give in and or the edit so many times, like, things change on the edit. I think it's just important to not be satisfied easily, and to just give up your all.
The best version
of the film. Yeah. Because it's not just, it's so many people's mehnat that goes into it, so many that you don't even see, and it's just everyone is emotionally attached to projects. Yeah. So that is one thing that I had in mind, that जो भी करना है, जितना best दे सकते हो अपना, उतना दे के करना है.
And lastly, since the trailer is so appealing, was there never a thought of a theatrical release? Was there? It was made with OTT in mind, the content of the film, was it?
I don't think like that. Even when Haseen Dilruba came out, everybody said, "Arey theater mein kyun nahi aaya aap?" And then, so it's not about theater or OTT. It's about the audience.
Yeah.
Wherever they're seeing it, there should be engagement, entertainment. It should be an experience that they remember, and the film should reach them, and that's the most important thing. An audience, you can't classify
the
audiences.
The platform cannot be matched. Obviously, OTT is a wider platform, and that's it. Thank you so much, and all the very best for Do Patti.
Thank you.
Lovely talking.
Thank you. Same here.